2024 is practically over, and as this is my final video of the year, I'm going to go over the year as a whole, mainly talking about Ninjago, of course. I'll start the video with my overall thoughts on the second season of Dragon's Rising. It isn't going to be very long since I've already said pretty much everything that I want to say about the season over the course of pretty much all the videos I've made this year. After that, I want to talk about the sets, go over the 3 waves we got this year as a whole, and finally I want to go over my channel this year and how much I've grown in the past year. So with that, let's get started. Like I've said many times, Dragon's Rising Season 2 is amazing. It took everything that made Season 1 great and expanded on it. Roz and the Forbidden Five are great villains, and Egalt, Frack, and Bonzo are great side characters. The Source Tournament arc is definitely one of my new favorite sets of episodes. Episodes 12 through 20 are just a lot of fun and really great. Probably the only complaint I can give to the season is that a couple of the episodes in the middle of the season can kind of drag and be pretty boring. Mainly when Cole and Zane are fighting the administration in the mechs. Oh yeah, and then also that random race right smack in the middle of the tournament wasn't great either. But other than that, this season is pretty much perfect. And for me at least, it's become my 3rd favorite season, just behind Sons of Garmadon and Master of the Mountain. And it has some pretty great sets to go with it. We got 3 set waves this year, 2 for the first 10 episodes of Season 2, and 1 for the second half of Season 2. If I had to pick a favorite wave, then it would probably be the March wave. The January wave was great because it was a big wave full of small sets, but most of those small sets aren't really that great in my opinion. And the summer wave was a small wave full of big sets, and while most of the sets are really good, they're, like I said, really big and therefore pretty expensive, so I just can't say that this wave is my favorite. The March wave though is great. You got good Ranger set prices, a couple of big sets, a couple of small sets, and a couple of medium-sized sets. And the 2 big sets of the wave are both 120, but they're clearly targeting different markets. The Wolfmask Shadow Dojo is more of a playset for kids, while the Dragonstone Shrine is directed towards collectors who want a cool thing to display on a shelf. And I absolutely love the aesthetic of Aaron's off-road buggy and Kai's climber mech. I got Aaron's buggy for my birthday back in the summer since I really wanted that Cole figure, but I didn't want to buy the set myself since it's stupidly overpriced. Sorry, Grammy. I think it's a really fantastic set. If you find it on sale, then you should 100% get it. And I'm still hoping to get both Kai's climber mech and the Shadow Dojo eventually to complete the climber suits. Which leads me into my least favorite part of this year's sets, the minifigure disputation. This year we got 3 lines of ninja suits, 1 for each wave. The mech pilot suits were pretty easy to get, since you could get any of them for less than $30. The climber and tournament suits, on the other hand, are a bit harder to get. The only climber ninja who comes in more than one set is Kai, who comes in his climber mech, the Shadow Dojo, as well as a $40 4+ set that no one wants. Cole is exclusive to Aaron's overpriced buggy, which is $50, and Lloyd, Nia, and Zane are exclusive to the Shadow Dojo, which is $120. You do not make half of your main cast of characters in a children's show exclusive to a $100+ set. And then for the Source Tournament suits, Zane and Cole are simple. Zane comes in a $10 set and Cole comes in a $5 poly bag. Kai, Sora, and Jay come in a $50 set. Lloyd and Nia come in a terrible, overpriced $90 set, and a $250 D2C set, and by far the worst, Aaron, who comes in a $150 set, and a $250 set. Oh yeah, and Wildfire, she's coming in a $10 set next year. So at the moment, this is what my 2024 Ninja collection is looking like.
I do not believe in wishing people good luck, but I hope random probability outcomes align to your benefit.
Like I've said many times, at this point, the mech pilot suits should have been saved for 2025, and then the climber suits could have come in the January wave, and maybe the climber and tournament suits could have shared the March wave. I've been running around about that on here pretty much ever since the summer wave came out. Now I want to talk about some of the sets themselves. Starting with the elemental mechs. I haven't really made it a secret that I'm not the biggest fan of these mechs. Aesthetically, they're amazing, but the reason I don't really like these is because of the lack of articulation. The Evo mechs work because they were small enough to get away with not having knees or elbows, and they still had wrists and functioning ankles, which allowed you to still do pretty much whatever you wanted with them. The elemental mechs, while can still work without knees or elbows, they remove the wrist joint, meaning that their arms only have a single point of articulation, which just isn't enough. And their ankles. I don't know what the idiot who thought that putting a bar directly behind the joint was a good idea was thinking. Kai's and Sora's mechs have these bars directly behind the joints, which seriously limits the amount of movement the ankles have and makes them significantly easier to pop off. Every time I tried getting these two into a pose, their feet would just pop off because of that bar. This is a very easy fix that I did make, but even still, for toys that are made primarily for kids to be playing with, I just don't understand. I have made some other modifications like giving them thumbs and fixing Sora's skirt, and I will say that I do like these more now than I did earlier this year, so that's something. Next I want to mention Ryu, which is pretty much a perfect set. How can you not love him? It's the cheapest way to get Sora's new hairpiece, and just a really great little set with great minifigures. You cannot go wrong with the set. The Tournament Battle Arena is also a great set. It has fantastic figures, and at a pretty good price, and is a pretty great alternative to the $250 Tournament City. The last I want to talk about is my favorite set of the year, Cole's Titan Dragon Mech. This set is a masterpiece. It is every point of articulation that you could ever ask for, and it's just beautiful. I really don't know what else to say about it. It's just a masterpiece, and I cannot believe that Cole got it. Those are all of the Ninjago sets I got this year, so I can't really say much or anything about any of the other sets I didn't mention. I would love to have the Source Dragon in motion, but I just don't really have the space for it, and there are other things I would rather spend my money on, like the Shadow Dojo. As for some of my favorite minifigures this year, I have Master Lloyd, Evil J, Tournament Lloyd, Nia, Sora, Climber Cole, Tournament Roz, and Mech Cole. And finally, I want to talk about how much I've grown this year. I started the year with, I want to say, just over 20 subscribers, and now I have 517 subscribers. I really started growing in the second half of the year. I just want to say thanks to everyone who has liked, commented, and subscribed. As well as the type of videos I'm making has changed over the course of this year. In late 2023 and early 2024, I pretty much just made videos talking about the sets here on my desk. But then in April, I started talking about the show and using footage from the show. And by around July, those are the only types of videos I was making. And I do prefer this style. July is also when I started growing, so I think this is the type of video you guys prefer too. But I do kind of miss those old, simpler videos. I did revisit that style earlier this month with my J-Mock, and I do want to start making videos like that again next year. But they won't become my main type of video, just every once in a while. And the final thing I want to mention in this video are my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 2012 videos. I really wasn't expecting those videos to do nearly as well as they did. Those are some of my most popular videos, and the last one I did back in September for the show's 12th anniversary is currently sitting at 26,000 views. I really cannot believe that. My second most popular video only has 6,000 views, which is still really good, but in comparison to that TMNT video, there's a pretty big gap. I don't really think I have too much more to add. I'd say that overall, Ninjago 2024 is almost perfect. And with that, if you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate it if you took 2 seconds to like and subscribe. I'll see you next year. Bye.